corruption here in beautiful Massachusetts. And I know this is going to come as a complete surprise to you that yesterday, the governor nominated Gillian Feiner to serve as an associate justice of the Superior Court. Now, that might sound to you as like, ho-hum mechanics of government. But if you scroll down here to her bio, here it is here, you would see that she served as an assistant attorney general in the Massachusetts Attorney General's office for 15 years. Oh, really? So she's a former aide or staffer to the governor herself when the governor was Massachusetts Attorney General. Now, since 2023, Attorney Feiner has been the senior counsel at the States United Democracy Center. Where have I heard of the States United Democracy Center before? Oh, that's right. That's where the First Lady of the Commonwealth earns $400,000 a year protecting democracy. So if you have ever seen anything that is more spun up as like some type of nonprofit grift, money laundering, deep state organization, you have never seen something like the States United Democracy Center. Even the name gives you the creeps, right? And of course, Joanna Lydgate, the First Lady of Massachusetts, she's the president and CEO. So let me just summarize this for you. The governor has just appointed a former staff member of hers to serve on the Superior Court, which in and of itself is not really news. That happens. It just so happens that also this attorney, Gillian Feiner, works right now for the governor's wife at a nonprofit deep state organization in Washington, D.C. called the States United Democracy Center, where the First Lady makes $400,000 a year. Yeah. And now she wants to be your Supreme Court justice in Massachusetts, associate justice of the Supreme Court. So she's going she's not going to serve as a district court judge. Oh, no. And then get promoted. No, she goes right to the Superior Court. Very nice. And it's all kept in the family, so to speak. You know what really burned me, and this post here brings a highlight to it over the last week or so, all of this criticism of the outsiders bringing violence into Massachusetts. And here's a good from here, Dynasty Driven, you nailed it. Remember, folks, Maura Healey takes public safety very, very seriously. And then there's a screenshot from Fox News of all the Boston area migrants charged with sex crimes. So don't tell me, Mayor Wu, Governor Healey, that you're now all of a sudden upset about outsiders when you just cooperated and sponsored a massive invasion where now 5 to 10% of our Massachusetts population are illegal immigrants. You're now pontificating about outsiders? You just sponsored this giant invasion, right? Of which had scores of people that were, among other things, sex crime offenders, child sex crime offenders. And then when the federal government tries to get these people off the street, get these outsiders off the street, you're against that. So you're in favor of child sex criminals from other countries, outsiders coming here. You're in favor of that. But when a couple of people from an island come up, oh, they're outsiders sowing discord in our community. You can't have it both ways. The simple fact of the matter is you suborned, you sponsored a massive invasion into our state. And you did that by literally giving them health care, giving them places to live. We are the only state in the country that has the right to shelter law. Let's not forget that. And it is only a law, and it is not a right. It's just a law. Literally, the first phrase of the law says subject to appropriation. Nobody had to appropriate any more money for that. We could have just said, no, we're not. We're just that's all we're spending. But you and the Democrats, which, by the way, started with the Baker administration with Michael Keneally, because he started the first Keneally Hotel, which morphed into the Healey Hotel when Healey took office. He might have warned her about it, but he also started the first one, right? He started the first one. And it was his idea. One of the last things he did was to recommend more money for that program. Let's not forget the facts. He said, oh, this is going to be a problem. But his answer was to do more, to spend more money rather than to shut off the spigot, which is what it should have been the answer. So don't tell me that you're upset about outsiders when you just sponsored an invasion. By the way, the Healey administration is now running a dashboard tracking the billions in federal cuts to Massachusetts. This dashboard basically admits that you're standing on a what is that phrase? On a house of cards, a house of lies. Everything that's on this dashboard, which is basically $3.7 billion lost, is basically an admission of how financially precarious the state financial situation is, and how we've put ourselves in that position. We put ourselves into that position. We shouldn't have built a state financial situation like this that was so precarious, and that if we ever lost money from the feds, we're effed, right? We shouldn't have done that. Just checking to see if Toby's here yet. Not yet. Okay. Meanwhile, the governor is taking a very brave stance. She is against illegal car meetups. She now has a zero tolerance policy, according to Chris Van Buskirk. And by the way, Chris Van Buskirk is now going to be moving over to like BUR or something like that. So I don't know what's going to become of this show, because like half of my show is talking about Chris Van Buskirk stories. So I don't know what we're going to do without Chris Van Buskirk at the Herald. Literally, we might have to cut the show like in half. Might be like a 20-minute show from now on as soon as he moves over to BUR. I don't know why he's going to BUR. Like, why would anybody do that? But nonetheless, Governor Healey has zero tolerance. So, critical thinking here. Does that mean that not too long ago she had some tolerance? What up until yesterday, was there some tolerance for illegal car meetups? Because I know there's a lot of tolerance with Governor Healey for illegal immigrants. She has 100% tolerance for illegal immigrants, doesn't she? Right. Of course she does, because those are her voters. Absolutely. She has 100% tolerance for illegal immigrants. Crazy. But now, theoretically, it's zero tolerance for illegal car meetups. But up until now, it hasn't been. Mark, thank you so much. And thank you so much for supporting our Substack, Mark. Really appreciate that. Very kind of you. Appreciate that. You can get over to johnfgately.com if you want to pledge and support our work. That would be great. Very nice of you. Somebody just did that today, totally unsolicited. Thank you. I can't remember who that was, but I should. But thank you for that, johnfgately.com. In the meantime, let's bring you up to date on the knuckleheads as we await Toby joining us today. So here is the report from Channel 5.
More suspects are expected to face a judge this morning. Yesterday here, we had 6 defendants in Boston Municipal.
Well, look at them. This is yesterday. They all have masks. They're all very concerned about COVID. And the kid in the middle, this kid here with the button-down collar shirt, and he's kind of like the preppy terrorist, isn't he? He's the one that broke the cop's nose, allegedly.
Court. All are accused of participating in a pro-Palestinian protest Tuesday night near Boston Common. Now, Boston police say some of those.
Oh, I want you to know that this film right here came from the Berkeley Beacon, who we're going to talk about in a second.
Protesters blocked traffic, kicked a cruiser, and assaulted an officer. According to BPD, 4 of their officers were injured. One of the suspects, 21-year-old tough student, Roder Atwood.
Look at Roder Atwood. He's a 21-year-old tough student. He does look kind of preppy, doesn't he?
Is accused of.
Man, the attorney is having a tough fashion day, isn't he not? What type of tie is that?
Hitting an officer in the face, breaking his nose.
Oh, come on, mommy. Can you bail me out?
We are a city that has been built on the right to speak your mind and to peacefully protest, and it's very important to all of us in the city to help protect.
But they're outsiders, Mayor Wu. Oh, actually, 7 out of the 13 that got arrested are from Boston.
And safeguard that right. At the same time, we do not tolerate violence in Boston.
Yes, she does. Right? Yes, she does. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I will tell you that if these people had just sat down in the street, they'd still be there. They'd still be there. Absolutely. They do tolerate it. This is her base of support. She's not really that upset. This is just like words she's speaking. Right? That's all that is. That's a Kamala Harris word salad. In the meantime, after that kid with the yellow sweater got his bail at $10,000, the pro-Hamas knuckleheads decided to take over the courthouse hallways. Right? If there's no justice in the court, there's the only justice in the, like the old, is that Lenny Bruce, I think? Yeah. So they had a little temper tantrum in the hallways. And of course, as is described in this article by Lance Reynolds, nice job at the Herald, when reporters started to question them, supporters blocked their faces and bodies with masks and that scarf thing connected to the Palestinian liberation. They grew agitated and combative as reporters pressed questions. You are harassing us. Of course, they're victims, one supporter said. Leave you. Which is the exact same thing happened to me on Winter Street Tuesday night, right? When I had my camera pointed someplace they didn't want it to go, right? As I was assuming they were passing out supplies, and they were just saying that they were, we're administering first aid. Oh, okay. Sure you are. They're blocking the street. They're probably passing out supplies. They don't want you to see what's happening. Don't they want to document the police brutality by the man, right? Sure they do. Yeah, sure. Well, shouldn't they want to show how the man beat everyone up? Here they are again. Thank you so much for joining us today. Great to have you on today's show. This looks like a couple of the offenders. Great picture by Mark Stockwell, by the way. He's been doing a great job on this story, the photographer for the Herald. Protesters and supporters and defendants await their turn at BMC. Great job, Stockwell. And there he is. There is your preppy terrorist right there. There he is, staring right there. Again, by Stockwell. Exceptional photo. I had a little argument with myself Tuesday afternoon about which cameras I was going to bring to the event. Just as a quick aside, and I didn't have a lot of time. As I said, I was busy. So I left my fancy camera at home and just went with my phone, and then actually with my backup phone. And so my photos weren't really what I would have wanted had I brought my fancy camera. But I was able to take some stills from the videos that I think I used, but maybe next time the fancy camera. But when you go out and you're in these rallies, you know, especially at night, you think twice about bringing anything that's expensive, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So hell of a way to start. Let's get back to our Berkeley Beacon angle. Hell of a way to start your report, Steve McGuire adds. It's not the first time a student journalist has been arrested in the last 2 years either. So this is specifically relative to the 2 tough students that were arrested at the Hamas rally. And check out how they start the article. Great job, Steve McGuire, for noting this. Editor's note. Ben Chuchurian, or we'll just call him Ben, is the former chair of the editorial board. He was not involved in the writing of this article, developing story. So one of the people who got arrested is the former chairman of the editorial board at Tufts University, at what they call Tufts Daily. So the former chair of Tufts Daily editorial board was one of the people that got arrested. Senior Roder Atwood, that's the kid with the yellow sweater, and Junior Ben, whatever his name is, were both arrested on charges. And Roder Atwood is being held on $10,000 bail. He must reappear in court October 30th. Ooh, good. Let me check my calendar. Maybe I can go on October 30th. So here we are with the former editorial board chairman at Tufts Daily getting arrested. And that led me to wonder about this person. Laith Hintzman, 19, of Boston, arrested last night. I got a tip that this person was a correspondent for the Emerson College newspaper. And what do you know? I found a couple of stories that Laith Hintzman had written in the fall of 2024 for the Berkeley Beacon. So the Berkeley Beacon, I don't think they mentioned this. Maybe Laith Hintzman is no longer a student there. I have no idea. But who knows? But right, maybe they were a one semester and done type of, but they're still college age. They're 19. And I think Laith is a guy. Yeah, I think Laith is a guy. Although, you know, these days, you know, who knows? But yeah, why are so many of these people coming from college newspapers is my question. I think there was a third person that came from college newspapers, and that was over at MIT.